Hello, and I'm going to do my best Prez impression here. I'm going to do a video where I actually discuss and analyze an actual basketball thing involving the Knicks. Um, I'm going to talk about Immanuel Quickley, who has struggled through this postseason, and I want to get into a little bit of why I think that's the case and why I was actually encouraged by how he closed, or not. I want to say he closed. He didn't close the game, but how he finished his brief 9-minute stint that he did play in the Knicks game 2 victory over Miami. Before we get started, just would be a huge help that if you have not done so already, please hit like on the video and then subscribe to the channel. That would be a huge help to us. I know there's some people out there that do watch our YouTubes quite frequently, but have not subscribed. Please do. Again, that would be a huge help to us. But okay, we're going to get into some actual basketball talk now. What I'm sharing right now on the screen, if you can see it, or you should be able to see it because you're watching on YouTube, is what the Knicks touches, how they were distributed through the first 6 games of the postseason. So that's through the entire series versus Cleveland and then the opening game against Miami. Now, if you look at this, I'm not going to pull up the regular season stuff. Just know that this is extremely out of whack with how it was distributed in the regular season. Brunson's touches are overwhelmingly larger than anybody else on the team. And while he was leading the team during the regular season, and most point guards do, like that's just the nature of the position, right? You're bringing the ball up, you're going to lead the team in touches. The skew has been way stronger in the playoffs than it was in the regular season. If you look at it here, he's on average when he was touching the ball, he was taking up almost a third of the shot clock. Look at that, 7.51 seconds. That's almost a third of the shot clock every single time he touched the ball. He was averaging 7 dribbles per touch. He's taking up 10 on the ball. He was, on the ball for 10 plus minutes per game. That's just not healthy. And then you look at this, Randall only at 2.6, RJ 2.6, Hart 1.7, Quickley 2.2. And then to bring it back to Quickley here, Quickley was playing 24 minutes a night. He was only getting 34 and a half touches. That's 4th most or 5th most on the team. That's not healthy. And that's also out of whack with how he was used in the regular season. We obviously saw, especially down the back stretch of the season, Quickley really come into his own. We saw a lot of big performances both with and without Brunson. And we actually saw them play together, and we saw at times Brunson play off of Quickley. Very, very encouraging stuff. That's just not been the case, or wasn't the case, I should say, through the first 6 games of the postseason. And I've talked about this extensively on the pods. I understood the decision on Tibbs's part, and I don't totally. In fact, I actually kind of support it, and I think it was a good decision against a team like Cleveland, where ultimately the bet Tibbs was making was, if I put the game in Brunson's hands and to a large extent RJ's hands, his touches and usage and everything deservedly went up through the course of that series, and he obviously showed out. I mean, he was incredible over the last 3 games, and he's carried on that strong play into the Miami series, which is very encouraging to see. But if you when you go back to that Cleveland series, the reasoning for that is basically that the only way Cleveland was going to win that series, the only way they were going to beat us, is by winning the possession battle. And there was no way for them to win the possession battle unless we turned the ball over, because we were destroying them on the glass, and that was that. So putting the ball in the hands of Jalen Brunson to an inordinate level, I didn't hate it there. I think it made sense, and I understood it, and I got the logic, and I was fine with it. And if that required players like Immanuel Quickley or Quentin Grimes or whoever to take a little bit of a back step offensively, then so be it. I think it was worth it in that series. Miami is a different animal. Miami is a different beast. They are the best coach team in the league. Spoelstra being the best coach in the league. They are always greater than the sum of their parts, particularly in the postseason. And in a player like Jimmy Butler, they have a player who plays at a higher level in the playoffs. Obviously, in game 2, he didn't play, but this team has shown time and again, both in the regular season and in the playoffs, they are up to any challenge. And they threw a lot at the Knicks, and they have thrown a lot at the Knicks, both defensively and offensively. Game 1, I didn't think the Knicks responded well to a lot of things. Game 2, I thought they did. I thought Tibbs made some really good tactical adjustments, and we're going to talk about one of them that, in my opinion, involved Immanuel Quickley. And, to be clear, like, I didn't think Tibbs coached a perfect game, but after when I rewatched it, I thought a lot better than what I did initially. And I think there was a logic to a lot of his choices. I still don't love the Josh Hart starting thing, but that is neither here nor there. Okay, let's get into the quickly this stuff. Okay. Now, if we look at those touches, okay, and then we're going to go here. All right. So now we are looking at just his touches, just the touches from the last game. Already you can see a much better skew in the touches, right? Yes, Brunson's touches are up because the Knicks played at a higher pace. He also played more minutes. But look at that. Randall's at 74. RJ's at 63. Hart's at 62. You're getting a lot more spreading of the ball around, especially in that starting lineup. And that's good to see. Brunson's average seconds per touch, way down. He's gone from taking he shaved almost 2 seconds off of how long he was staying on the ball. That's huge. That's great. That means that he's getting off the ball faster. That means he's also giving other guys opportunities to create. And I thought that showed out in the first half with Randall and with RJ, and they both played magnificent in that first half, especially. But I want to talk obviously about Quickley because that's what this video is about. So Quickley only played 9.3 minutes. Okay. But in those 9.3 minutes, he had 22 touches. Right now, let's go back here again. He had 22 touches in 9.3 minutes. He spent just about 2 minutes of total game time on the ball. This is what it was in the first 6 games of the playoffs, right? This is what it was. Sorry. You had him at 34.5 touches in 24.3 minutes. He had 22 in 9 in just over 9. So he was getting just getting 12 more touches basically in over 15 more minutes per game. That's a significant shift, massive shift, right? Now, why do I think that was a good thing? Even though he only went. This is what it was. He went 3 for 7 from the field. He went 0 for 4 from 3. He had 2 turnovers. Why do I think this was a good sign? Why am I encouraged by what I see? By what I saw, I should say. All right, well, now we can do the video portion of this, the fun part. Here we go. Okay, so I'm not going to get into the first half, but suffice to say, in the first half, I did not think Quickley played a good first half, neither in terms of process, nor execution, nor outcome of possessions he used. Feel very differently about a second half. This is the start of the fourth quarter, and we're going to see this, okay? Let me mute the site so that I can talk over this. All right. So he gets the ball, bringing it up here, right? Knicks are down 2. I think he wants to go to Grimes. That's what I think he wants to do. I think he knows Grimes is going to go to this corner, and he's trying to draw Lowry so that he can feed Grimes. Now, what happens is Zeller gets back. So Lowry doesn't have to stay in the paint to cut off the drive. He can get back to Grimes. So that's not a clear opportunity for Grimes. What is nice, though, about this, and this is another thing I liked about Quickley's performance in general, very specifically what I liked about his performance. There were too many instances in the first 6 games where he was picking up his dribble in moments like this and getting caught without a plan. That didn't happen. He didn't play a perfect game. He made mistakes. I'm going to outline a big mistake he made even in this fourth quarter that he had. But this, to me, is not him picking up the dribble because he didn't have a plan. I think he's reading the floor, sees that he doesn't have Grimes in the corner, picks up the dribble to toss it back out, and we're going to see what I think is a good shot. I think he needs to take the shot, and that he should take the shot, and he should consistently take this shot. This is a quality shot for him. This is a shot you want him to take. He is open. He takes a spot up. We've seen him hit this shot multiple times. There's not even a contest. Vincent isn't even able to really get a contest up. Look, his hands aren't even up when Quickley is releasing the ball. Okay? He misses that, but that's a good look. I want him taking that shot. You want him to be aggressive. And I think Tibbs, and this is where we'll talk a little bit more about Tibbs. I thought Tibbs put him in positions, and I feel like he must have instructed him to be more aggressive and to look for his own shot. There were too often in the playoffs so far, he's been hanging out in the corners. He's been bringing the ball up and then immediately pitching it to RJ and then going to space out in the corner. Just not enough decisiveness on his part. And I don't think, I believe that it was a tactical choice, specifically in that Cleveland series and even in game 1 against Miami, to put the ball more in RJ and Brunson's hands. I supported that in the Cleveland series. I don't think they can win that way in this Miami series. And having Randall back helps, but they will need Quickley to get himself going, again, in my opinion, to win the series. So it's important he does. And that's why I thought this fourth quarter stretch, even though it wasn't perfect, was an encouraging sign. Okay, so this is the next possession he uses. Okay, this is a little bit of a weird one. Miami goes zone. I think if he's confident, I think if he's really in a good rhythm, he makes this pass to Hartenstein. Whether it be a bounce pass, throws it over the top, he should make this pass. If he makes this pass to Hartenstein, Miami zone has to close in. They have to pinch in on him, and you've got shooters all around, right? You have Obi in the corner. You've got Grimes in the corner. You've got RJ here at the top. It could also, if Robinson comes in, it could open up a back cut here for Quickley. But that's not what happens, right? He swings it to RJ. I'm okay with that. Okay, you don't have confidence and you're not in the highest ebb of confidence, I guess is one way to put it. So let's get the ball to a guy who's had it going today, who's had it going for a while now, and let's see what he can do, right? None of these guys one-on-one can check RJ when he puts his head down, and we see that here. Okay, now let's go. Here we are. RJ, size of Martin. I like this drive, but he gets cut off. I'm fine with that, though. Look what he does. He collapses the paint. Vincent has to help down on the drive a little bit. Even Zeller is very occupied here. He maybe can just dish this to Hartenstein for a floater, but I don't mind what RJ chooses to do here. I think this is a very good choice, actually. He collapses. Okay, right here. He should probably just shoot this. That's a good 3. In rhythm, top of the key. I think that is his hot spot for the season. He should just take this 3. Okay, but he just missed one. Maybe he's not feeling super confident. Fine with that. Let's attack the closeout. Also okay. Also okay with that. He tries to Euro step here. Even if he's, and maybe he's just trying to draw the foul. So there's 2 pieces of this. If he's trying to Euro step, that's a stupid decision. Why? Because Caleb Martin is right here. So even if he gets by Vincent on the Euro step, he's not going anywhere. It's a bad choice. He also should probably either just pull up or keep driving. He's still got just under 3 seconds left on the shot clock. He has time to keep going here. But this is what he does. He drives in. Miami's prepared for this. I think this is on their scouting report that Quickley likes to Euro when he drives in. We've seen him do that a bunch. He got caught in the first half trying to do that too. He tried to draw a foul there, and he didn't get it. This is an adjustment he has to make because it's one that Miami has clearly put on the scouting report on Immanuel Quickley. So this is just a bad play. But I like that he's attacking. I like that he is getting into the paint. I think that's important for him, and I like that he's just doing it quickly. No pun intended. On that one, though, I prefer the 3. I think that's the better shot for him. Okay, so how does he react to that? Right. He's not happy about this call, but it's the right call. It's a bad play by him. It's the right call. Here's the next. Here is literally, I believe this is the next possession that the Knicks had after Miami hits a 3. This is important. I think Quickley's been he's gotten too reliant on screens over the last stretch of games. We've seen him blow by guys. We know he has a good first step. We know that he's athletic. We know that he's quick. He's fast. I'm going to try really hard not to keep saying quick. It's very easy to do that. We know he's fast. We know he can blow by guys. We've seen that throughout the regular season. I like this play here. He tells Obi, if you watch this when he's bringing the ball up.
Turnover, New York.
Go back. All right. He tells Obi to clear out the side. You can see him do it. He's motioning right here to clear out. Right? Look at RJ. RJ knows. So RJ starts floating over to the corner. Lowry's not going to leave RJ in the strong side corner. I know RJ was shooting well in this game, so that probably helps. But even if RJ's not, they're not just going to immediately cut off the drive to leave a guy wide open in the strong side corner, right? Hartenstein, really good job here. You know, he just pins Vincent, so Vincent can't come down either. And I love, again, Quickley not waiting for Hartenstein to come up higher and set the screen. Right? Blows by him. That's not an easy finish, but on Cody Zeller, that's a finish I think Quickley can make. Other part of this, he could maybe make this pass. That's potentially there. I think Obi probably, if he's a little bit higher here on the floor, that's an easier pass to make, or Obi himself would be open. So I get not making this pass. And I don't mind Quickley taking a floater once he's got 1 foot in the paint right here. I think that's a good shot for him. He's been one of the best floater guys in the entire league this season. So good shot, good finish, boom, quick, decisive. Note the time in the shot clock too. He just goes. When he starts this move, with 17 seconds left on the shot clock. That's decisive. That's what you want to see. You don't want to see him floating around, 14 seconds on the shot clock. He's waiting for a screen, deliberately uses it, picks up. No, he goes. He uses his advantage, and he just fucking goes. That's important. We need him to do that. And I think Tibbs was trying to get him to do that in this game. Okay, next possession, down. Right? Miss 3. Hartenstein gets the ball to Quick. I like this, okay? He doesn't just immediately sprint the ball up the floor. He sees Zeller's behind him, uses his body to kind of keep him a little bit half step behind. Then he goes forward. I like this a lot. He just goes. Again, this is smart. Duncan Robinson cannot guard you. He can't guard you. He can't guard you. And I like this shot for him. We've seen him make this shot a bunch this season, right? He needs to get going. And the key to this, I forgot to mention this earlier, but why I brought that Grimes clip up earlier in this segment here that I'm doing is I wanted to note this. I want to go back to this. When he's driving, right, they're not being aggressive with their help. They're daring Quickley to challenge them as a scorer. And I know that his assist rate was down in the regular season this year, but so is his usage. I think Quickley has been a lot more deliberate this season about his shot selection and general creation. It felt like he was trying too hard to not force shots at times in the playoffs, but sometimes you have to take what the defense is giving you. And what the defense has been giving him, especially in this Miami series, is 2v2 opportunities, basically, when it involves, pick and roll or whatever. They're not sending help. They're not collapsing on drives and leaving open shooters constantly, right? So it's important for him to read that and be more decisive as a scorer. And that's what I like about these two possessions. And even the three that he missed, the threes that he missed, I like those shots. I think those are good shots for him. They're decisive. And if he starts hitting them, it's going to open up a lot, not just for him, but it's going to open up a lot for the team, because they will start sending help. They will start being more aggressive and shading towards him. And that is important for them, or for the Knicks, sorry, I should say. This possession here. Okay. He's had 2 possessions in a row, right, where he doesn't attack. He doesn't use the screens. Doesn't wait for a screen even. Here he does. Spoelstra wants a double dribble. I don't think that's a double dribble. Quickley, I'm not sure if he calls for this. It's not clear. But I think he is. I think he wants Hartenstein to come up here because he sees how Vincent's guarding him at the top. He swings it to Grimes to get it back. Yeah, you see him point there. Yeah, he points to Hartenstein to come up and set the screen for him. This is just good stuff. He sees how Miami is defending, right? They're in the zone. They've been in the zone for a while. He uses their coverage against them to get an open 3 for himself. He has to take the shot. This is a good shot. Okay, this is a very, very good shot. He is wide open. Nobody gets a contest on him. You could debate whether he got pushed or fouled or whatever. I'm not sure about it. It doesn't really matter to me. Even if he did, I don't care. But this is a good shot. Robinson doesn't help. If Robinson helps, okay, if Robinson helps,
Zone look.
RJ's going to have, let's go back here. If Robinson helps, RJ will have, he can either drive or he'll just have a wide open three. Both are great. They're great alternatives or great options potentially. But right here, wide open three, he's got to take this shot. And he's got to have the confidence to keep taking the shot. I don't care what he's shooting. He has to take the shot. These are good shots. So what does this all mean? It doesn't mean much. I mean, it doesn't mean much until Quickley starts making shots. But I think we saw a pretty significant shift in what he'd been being asked to do tactically to start this series and to start the playoffs. And I think it's a good adjustment. I do feel that they need Quickley to be aggressive. They need him to be a scorer. They need him to be more involved offensively if they're going to win this series. And I thought he did a good job of that in the fourth quarter. The first quarter, I thought flat out bad. He was not decisive. He was still, picking the ball up too soon, swinging it aimlessly. That's not good. What he did in this fourth quarter, that's good. If he plays like that more, I bet you his minutes go up because Tibbs wants his ball handlers to be aggressive. He wants them to get downhill, and he can get downhill on this Miami team. He doesn't need screens to do it. He actually shouldn't be depending on screens to do it. He doesn't need to because he's better than most. He can blow by these guys. He can blow by Gabe Vincent. He can blow by Caleb Martin. He can definitely blow by Duncan Robinson. He doesn't need screens for that. And when he gets in the paint, he doesn't need to be cute about it either. Enough with the Euro steps. They're sitting on that. They know the scouting report on him. He has to adjust. And I think this was always going to be an adjustment for him. And he can get frustrated with the officiating, or he can adapt and he can adjust his game to how they're calling it. They're not going to give him those fouls that he was getting in the regular season. And quite honestly, they shouldn't because Miami's sitting on it. They know what's coming. So he has to adjust. And those openings are there for him. We saw them in that fourth quarter. He took the adjustments. He adapted. And credit to Tibbs. Look, I know that you can criticize. Maybe he needs to give Quickley more time. And I think that, not giving him the leash earlier in the playoffs maybe has delayed his adaptation period, I should say. But he made an adjustment tactically in this game. And while the minutes maybe aren't to everybody's liking, you have to give him credit for that. And the numbers bear it out. 22 touches in 9 minutes versus 34 and a half that he was averaging in 24 and a half minutes per game coming into game 2. That's a significant adjustment. And that doesn't just happen. I promise you that didn't just happen because, Quickley decided it. That's a coaching thing. That's credit to Tibbs. And I'll be quite honest, I probably would have given him a little bit more of a leash in this game, but I didn't hate the choices that Tibbs made. I think the playoffs you don't get to just play the long game in the playoffs. The short game matters a lot. You have to win the games in front of you. You couldn't go down 0-2 here, especially not in a game that Butler didn't play. Yes, you would like to see maybe him give Quickley a couple more minutes here or there, but in this game, I'm fine with his choices. And I think if Quickley plays like he did in the fourth quarter, where he's more decisive and he's attacking and he's getting downhill and he's not second-guessing himself and he's taking good shots, open shots, then I think he'll play more. And I think Tibbs knows that he needs to get Quickley going in this series. He knows that he needs more creators in this series because even if Cleveland was a better defense, they could not throw the multiple looks at you that Miami can. It's like an NFL defense that can play multiple fronts versus one that's just great at 4-3 or 3-4 or whatever. Both have their strengths, but they challenge you in different ways. And the fact that Miami can throw multiple looks at you challenges you in a way that requires multiple creators. It's why the Knicks offense took off with Randall in this game. Randall coming back, I should say. And it's why I think Tibbs made a conscious decision, I guess I should say, to distribute the ball more evenly and very specifically get Quickley more touches as a creator, top of the key, like he did in the regular season in this game. Okay, well, that's my short / somewhat long video about Immanuel Quickley's game 2, where I thought he didn't play a good game, but there are good signs of his potential and ability to turn things around, which is huge for him, obviously on an individual level, but more importantly, important for the Knicks if they want to win this series against an exceedingly well-coached, well-prepared Miami team. Again, if you have not already, please hit like and then subscribe to the channel. That'd be a huge help for us. Thanks for listening, and I will see you guys on Tuesday again on Strickland. But until then, let's go Knicks. Enjoy the weekend.